Hey guys, welcome to this episode of Intentionally Blank D&D. I'm your DM Kyle, and I'm joined by the lovely players Dakota, Levi, and Paisley.
Hello.
Hello.
Whoa.
I'm at a grocery store right now, guys.
Cool. Don't know what to say to that.
Get some bacon.
No bacon. We discussed this.
Only syrup.
Only syrup.
Alright. Before we begin, does anyone have any announcements?
We were going to test out Pathfinder yesterday, but Levi filled his diaper right before he came over.
No.
So
I have an announcement, and it's that Kyle's getting a puppy.
I am.
its name is Bacon,
Negative.
No, it's Maple.
like the syrup.
Hence the conversation that we just had. I was talking more Talespire D&D related, but
Oh,
that's all good too.
Talespire is they released a devlog that they're working on character sheets.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing's implemented yet, but so far it's looking really cool, though I am interested to see how customizable it's going to be, because as of right now it's very D&D 5th edition.
Yeah. So
Hopefully they'll let us change like the names of different stats or something, or change it from just being 20s. So we will see.
yeah, but it's all exciting.
Yeah, it's all pretty exciting stuff. A couple other things that they're planning on adding on top of that is the ability to send messages directly to a specific person in within Talespire, or even setting messages under specific languages, which you can set who can read it and who can't.
Yeah.
All
And
of which is
anybody
really cool.
without that language, it's just like garbled nonsense. So
Yeah, so
love
that'll
that.
be really cool.
So nifty.
Yeah, that'll be a really cool addition. Let's see, we've already talked about Levi's diaper. There's the dog.
I feel like that's a wrap. Thank you guys for joining
I feel
us.
like we're good. Yep. I think that's everything that we wanted to set up for this stream.
Yep.
So
Yeah, join us next time for like life updates and a little bit of Talespire.
All right. But if there is nothing
See you
left,
bitches next. Oh, okay. We are gonna continue.
I'm just assuming next week we have a last time on updates.
From here on out, it's a train wreck. The streams are very short.
from now on. All right. Last time on D&D. Hoovel and Asher wake up to check on the griffin and are met by a crowd. The other lower members of the Miracle Mercenaries had been protecting it overnight, but as they saw the group, they kind of like ushered the crowd off and left it over to them. After clearing the crowd, a dwarf by the name of Humphrey Firehelm bought the griffin without really asking the party, and invited them to his airship to discuss further. On the ship, the party is gifted a new companion, Moat, who carries some new weapons the party has not seen, with the condition that the party promotes the store his Airbnb to other adventurers.
Air-E.
Oh, what did I say?
B&B.
Oh, Air-E, my bad. Fixing that. They then go to turn in their last mission to the Miracle Mercenaries and take on another right away to take back a lumber mill from a mysterious monster. They check back at home before going to the forest to find a note from Blanche. saying that he needed some space after the last mission. Doesn't seem like things are going well, and that he needed time away from the party.
I thought you were about to have me recite it again, and I was like, I don't fucking remember.
Yeah, that was good.
That would have been good.
After getting the note, the three venture east and arrive at the mill without further issue. Walking up, they see many dead bodies lying about and bear traps with a strange yellow blood. They walk inside and hear a struggled moan. Investigating, they find a guard crawling on the ground with a large blood stain behind him. Upon getting closer, he turns around sharply and says, "You've been trapped!" At that point, pots and crates break open and small green creatures rush to attack the party. The party takes some hits, deal some damage, and are hit with fears and stuns that prevent them from further battle. During the fight, Asher goes down as Moat moves to cover her body. While this happens, Hoovel also goes down. Moat desperately tries to kill the creatures, and eventually does, but not before Asher and Hoovel succumb to death. Moat grabs their bodies and rushes back to Humphrey, drops the bodies on the deck of the Air E&E, and tells Humphrey to fix them. He begins to say there's nothing he can do when Moat interrupts him to intimidate and tells Humphrey to fix them. Now, we start today's session not there.
The end.
But I will summon you all here. Asher.
Oh. It's me, human form Asher.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's not like normal Asher.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, stay like this. I was gonna morph my shelf.
You can.
My shelf.
Whatever Asher views herself as.
Oh, okay. My normal state.
Nice. Asher. The last thing you remember is battling these strange small green creatures. You have the idea that, oh, I could get out of this. The next time they hit me, I can vamp out and I will be perfectly safe. And as they come in, one of these strange green creatures stabs you, and you do not have enough time to react with this as the knife sinks further into your chest and you are anticipating. Your vision goes black as you look up to see your new robotic companion firing these strange metallic cylinders at these creatures. A lot of confusion as your
It's
vision
his
goes
penis.
completely black.
Sheesh! Very epic!
You open you open your eyes in a very familiar space. You look about and you see very vibrant greenery, and a dense forest surrounds you. You know exactly where you are. You hear the familiar sounds of laughter and splashing.
Oh. Well, this is weird. Wasn't I just doing something?
I had to mute myself because when Kyle broke, I just lost it.
Do you head towards the familiar laughter and splashing?
I do.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
as you head further, this way.
North.
North. As you head into the more dense tree line, You come out on the other side. Oops. I can just teleport you. You come out on the other side to yet another familiar scene. Before you, sitting on her throne of branches, multicolored dress with all kinds of leaves and branches adorning it, long pointed ears and brown, almost black hair wisping down and lost in the dress. This is your patron, Elwind. Right there.
I do not see her yet, but I approach the throne with a weird feeling in my chest.
Okay.
You don't see her yet?
Now I do.
Okay.
For some reason, it was like, no, it was just Fogor or something.
She is accompanied by the regular dryads at her sides, and water nymphs swimming in the pond at her feet. They look to be having a party, as they always have. But when you arrive this time, all eyes are focused on you, no one making a sound. As you approach, Elwyn speaks up with this strange feeling in your chest. She says, "Well, you had a good run, but that last battle was a bit of a drag, and you come before me, a weaver of nature, looking like this." And as she motions to you, you look down at your own hands, and you see your own reflection in your hands.
I flex my fingers.
You flex your fingers, and at first you feel like it's cracks in your knuckles. But then you touch like one hand to the other, and you hear clinking, almost like coin against coin.
I had a good run.
As you say this, she waves her hand and says, "Now, our business is done. You can no longer entertain me. You may leave." And with that, she kind of just shifts her focus away from you, as if you never existed.
Oh,
I'll be back. I'm getting a phone call.
Okay.
I feeling kind of confused. I drop the loot out of my hands. I wandered up to her throne, knowing it was familiar to always carry an instrument when I come to this place. But now it just feels strange to hold it.
Yeah. Go on.
I drop it, and then I'd like to maybe sprint back into the woods.
Okay. You drop it. You start running back into the woods. You can feel wetness around your eyes start to form. As you start running, you go over a low-hanging branch before you actually get to the tree line. And with this mixed with your feeling of grief, the person who has given you safety and power, your patron, turns their cheek and dismisses you.
Ah.
At this point, you feel a hand on your shoulder. As you look to where the hand is coming from, you see a familiar old man.
Hey!
This is the old man that you saw as you entered Ventento. The one
It's
who
the one-
is at the Shrine of Cinder.
The one who was trying to warn me.
Yes. And he seemingly puts a hand on your shoulder, gives you a nod, and continues walking towards Elwind. And as he does, you see as his form shifts into that of from a old man hunched over to a more straight-backed, strong, muscular human.
I'm going to be slightly distracted for a bit. I have to take care of something for work, but I'll still be here.
Okay.
Just I'll be muted while I'm doing it. Just yell at me if you need me for something.
Sounds good. As he passes you, you see, again, taller, muscular, the tattered robe shifting into a mix of chain and leathers. The hood shifts into a helmet, and as he reaches off to take it, it sort of like disintegrates into nothing. You see light brown hair and a muscular, square-jawed human. He speaks. Elwind, you are being ridiculous. You have a responsibility toward this mortal. They've given you all that you've asked. With anger in his voice, he continues towards the throne. She harshly retorts, "This is not your domain, Cinder, nor is this discussion your place. You'd be wise not to impede in my affairs." They begin to argue back and forth as you become distracted by everything that's happening around you.
For a moment, I'm like, who is this guy to like speak to Elwind like that? But my thoughts like catch Cinder. This name is striking me as very familiar.
Yes. And with your background, you know, it's hard to believe, but this could be Cinder, god of humanity.
Wow.
As he steps forward, seemingly angered by Elwind's actions, they begin almost bickering, like you would see, like...
So casually.
Yeah,
like
a casual bickering but angered. Both parties angered. But as they begin this meaningless bickering back and forth, you feel a cold breeze behind you. You look back, still prone on the ground, kind of just like up on your knees. You see a blackness start creeping over the forest.
With the heat on my face from everything that I'm feeling, this cold gush is very welcomed. I want to kind of start to like lean towards this darkness, maybe.
Yeah, and as you do, you see this darkness sweep over the grass and trees. Everything in the wake looks to be dying, but acting as though it was living. Leaves wilt, but stay attached to branches. Bark cracks, but the tree stays standing. Grass blackens, but sways in the breeze. From the forest, you see a figure clad in black armor, bones protruding from his shoulders like pauldrons, and a rib cage forming the chest.
A monster, maybe?
Not a monster, a humanoid. In black onyx armor.
Do they appear next to me just like that?
Yes, they seem to emerge from the darkness. He kneels next to you, his face obscured by a bone helmet, a slight reddish glow coming from underneath. You hear a hissing whisper as he speaks. "I've taken an interest in your group. You are against the natural order of things, which falls under my domain. I shall give you your power, plus some. The only thing I ask for in return is you continue pushing against normalcy, and when I call upon you, you answer." As he does this, he holds out his hand to help you up, almost caressing your hand as you reach back out.
Looking at my hands while I kind of kneel here, like, I guess that's me, huh? Not the natural order anymore. I take his hand tell me you're not a god too. And I stand up to meet him.
And as you stand up, taking his hand, you feel like searing cold on your hand. But like you said before, it's almost comforting. You look over to Cinder and Elwind, who up until this moment were lost in their argument. They look back at you with a shock and horror as your vision sinks into black.
Whoa.
All right.
Scene.
Scene.
Well, I have mixed feelings about this. Look at me. I'm an abomination. But, whoa, I just met probably 2 gods. This is pretty intense.
Let me set up the next scene because I was forgetting about one. Okay. Moat, Dakota, if you're available. If you are not, we can... you don't need to do anything during the scene, so I will just continue along. But, Moat, as you are doing your sentry's rest on the bottom layer of Humphrey's ship, the Air E&E, you have been watching both your companions. Humphrey has been hard at work repairing them. You've only left their side on occasion when Humphrey asks you to retrieve something for him or when something needs to be done. As you are sitting there, you see from the corner of your vision a large hunched over figure clad in bone and furs. They stand there brushing up against the ceiling even while hunched over. They make their way over to Hoovel. As they do, you try to leave your sentry's rest, but fail to do so. You feel paralyzed. As you push through this feeling and look at this figure, they've stopped. They've stopped moving towards Hoovel, and though the face is completely obscured, you can tell they're staring directly at you, or in you. A
Whoa.
singular white-gray bony hand reaches out from underneath the robes and points at you. The next thing you know, you hear the sounds of one of your companions waking up suddenly. You no longer see the figure, even though there are no windows in this room. You feel as though an unknown amount of time has passed. Hoovel. Yeah. Alright. Hoovel. After being stabbed through the chest by these strange green creatures, your new companions somewhere within the cabin that you guys were trying to exterminate creatures from, but not in your sight. You look at this one creature, blade in your chest as it sinks further and further in. Your vision goes black. The next moment, you open your eyes and sit up with a jolt. The pain seems to have completely vanished. As your vision starts to clear, you hear people shouting, "Captain, he's awake!" And the shuffling of feet. You begin looking around and see a dimly lit room. You turn to look more, but are stopped by the tightening of chains. As you look back at the chains attached to you, you see yourself in the reflection of your arms. What looks back at you is something that you do not recognize. You look similar, but your face, and as you look down at your chest, seems to have been replaced. Something similar to the Warforges that you've seen recently. You hear a voice calling out to you. Are you okay, Hoovel? Are you calm? As you look up, you see the face of Humphrey.
Just gonna like tilt my head and inquisitive, like, what the heck, and just like nod.
Good, good. We are sorry we had to lock you up, as he begins opening the cage that you're in. You seem to be much more of a thrashy sleeper than your friend Asher over here, but let me get you out of there. He opens the cage, which slides open, and he undoes the chains on your arms. Just be careful. You've been through a lot of changes recently. You walk out of the cage, looking down your now metal feet, clunking into the wood of the floorboard. Humphrey speaks up as you're kind of now weirdly stepping like a newborn deer, almost. You should have the same unique aspects about you. It may just feel a bit different using them. Please try and move around a bit. And while you do, try flexing your wings for me. I want to make sure it worked.
Okay. Well, Hoover will start like doing like a stretching routine and trying to get like used to his new body.
Okay. Yeah, and as you move around, it does take a bit because the feeling is different, but the muscles all move the same parts that you're used to. So after a small little bit, you feel as though you can move around at your normal pace.
Cool. You said the whole clinking of my feet. Is that gonna like detriment my stealth?
No, and as you move different parts of your body, it does seem that things that made you unique continue to be unique. And as you continue flexing your muscles, you flex out your wings, and this is when you notice that your wings have completely changed. What once were bright feathers are now metallic rods sticking out, and as you begin to flex them, you see small little flames burning at the tips of each of these metal rods, lifting you up slightly. And out of game, what this means is your fly speed is normal, the same as your movement speed. This now allows you to hover, which takes half your movement to do so. So if you don't want to move for your turn, it would take half your movement to stay in one place in the air.
Sweet.
Yeah. But as you continue moving about and getting used to your new body, you hear a gasp from across the room as it looks like your other companion, Asher, comes to consciousness. Asher.
Well-
You wake up in a similar fashion to Hoovel, jolting up after visiting your patron and the other visitors who showed up. People rush over as you awaken.
Who are these people?
Oops. You see the familiar face of Humphrey. Oh man, the floorboards are a bit weird down here. You see the familiar face of Humphrey, his Warforged packer. You see a not so familiar face, but they seem to step back a bit. Across the room, you do see Hoovel? Question mark? As they do look quite different.
Wow.
And sitting, looking, staring at both you and Hoovel getting up, you see Moat. Humphrey takes your hand and helps you up, and says, "Careful, Missy. There have been many changes. Just take it slow."
I saw them. I look back down at my arms to confirm that what I saw, unconscious in the Fae realm was correct.
Yes, and as you do look down, you see your metallic arms moving in front of yourself. You also notice something is off inside yourself. Like, a large part of you has been replaced, both physically and mentally.
Ugh.
As you look about the room and see all these unfamiliar faces, and you look down at yourself, you realize that you are, in fact, in your changeling form. You instinctively attempt to swap to your half-elven look, as nothing happens.
Oh, I cover myself with my arms, like, whoa, whoa, where are we? What is this?
Humphrey sees you start to panic and says, and leans, I guess not leans down because you're taller than him, takes your hand and looks up at you, and says, "Quite unfortunately, this, first of all, is my ship, the Air E. You've been up top before, but this is your first time down low."
I look around like, yeah, I do remember that gimmicky name. Sizing him up again, like, Humphrey! It's all coming back to me!
You look back at Humphrey and you see a sullen look on his face. Unfortunately, I could not replicate your unique abilities.
About that, that stays between us, yeah?
Of course.
Okay. I relaxed a little bit then.
I had to try something
Alright, I'm kind of back.
similar. Hello. Were you listening or no?
On and off.
Okay. I'll fill you in with the details later.
Okay.
But you stand up and look at both of your companions are now awake, and Humphrey's talking to Asher.
Okay.
He says, I had to try something similar with your unique abilities. I've infused some of your parts with mimic blood. Instead of thinking of people or appearances to shift, try to think of objects.
Objects. I like look around for a whoa!
Like
Damn
I
it!
said,
Don't move your character like that.
yeah,
Sorry. Will somebody save me?
I did.
Okay, thank you. Oh, now the airship's gone. Oh, there it is.
There you go.
Okay. Hearing this, like the mimic blood, I'm like, oh, maybe I really am a monster now. Thinking back to like Elwend in that clearing
Mhm.
But I quickly turn. I look at the barrel behind me.
Yeah, and as you focus in on this barrel, everyone in the room sees as your form quickly shifts and uh, merges together and expands in other spots. And within half a second, Asher's form is gone, and a barrel appears.
I like that it's a barrel on like a miniature space.
Um,
No, and the
even-
miniature space is huge.
yeah, to get it the same size. But out of
That's
game,
super cute.
your abilities, your shape change now works with any inorganic simple objects roughly your size rather than appearances.
I like how there's like a giant's thumbprint on the top of the barrel.
Yeah, what is that?
Oh,
When I am in a barrel shape, I retain my thoughts. Like I can't. It's okay if I stay a barrel for a while. I won't like really become a barrel.
yeah. It works
Okay.
exactly like your shape change. So, you know,
Okay.
your appearance could be changed forever. When you go unconscious, your shape will change back to your original. Um, but while you're conscious, you can keep this shape for as long as you'd like.
Okay. Okay. Just wanted to make sure because I know that's like a trope. I
Paisley,
what?
I just realized that you can
Can I-
rest in somebody's house.
I can. I can just walk myself in and be like, I'm a barrel now.
This is the only way to turn a barrel on its side.
Do you like it? Look, I'm a sleeping barrel. This is knockdown status. Very cute. Okay, but after this, I'm like, whoa, and I pop back into my shape.
Okay.
Well, that was a terrifying experience. I look around to the faces around the room. I was doing it right.
You see Humphrey, still sullen looking. It's a strange expression because you can definitely tell he's upset with himself that he couldn't recreate your abilities, but also very impressed with himself. That
Right, I'm getting another call. I'll be back.
Oh.
that he managed to do this.
I'm like, well, that was different.
And you can see the different expressions of people across the room. You see the one person that you do not recognize kind of like looking at you with an impressed look. Packer has no facial expression. Hoovel has any facial expression he'd like. And Moat similarly does not have facial expressions.
I point to Hoovel. You like that? I have barrel form. Kind of like,
Quickly whip out my wings and hover
whoa.
and like look down at my nose at you like whatever.
Like, well, everybody's a little different. I'm like trying to make light of a very weird situation. I'm surrounded by people like looking like strangers, but also trying to do my usual like woo a crowd thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like feeling kind of nervous, but also like I'm trying to make everybody feel not bad for me,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. Like, yeah, I like roll my shoulders back. Okay, yeah. This is all right. So I died. Yeah, that happened.
As you say that, Humphrey looks to the other two of his crew and says, "Please clear the room as I explain to our guests here what has transpired." They nod and take off. Damn it.
Did he also launch himself into the ocean?
Yeah, just for fun. I will take care of that at a later time. But Humphrey looks to you all and says, over the next while, he explains the situation to you. The date is the 27th of Achti. Yes, you were both dead for roughly a little over 2 months. As far as anyone knows, the favored few are dead. I don't know what you've done in your past, but you have a chance to begin anew. Either way, things will be different. You both do not look natural, and that will cause people to take notice of you. Less so here, as which is partially why I chose this location, but still be wary. Whatever you do decide. I hope our previous arrangement still stands, as I would like to send people my way, and take Moat here. He has already shown unprecedented progress since meeting you both. Moat has protected your things, and given me the cost it took to revive you both. Now, if you do need a new direction, I have work that I could hire you for. That is, if you decide you don't want to return to your previous life. But before you make a decision, walk about town. Get used to your new selves. No matter what you decide, you'll probably need to stay for a bit, unless you plan on walking back.
Two months, huh? I'd drink to that. And I reach for my pouch. Is it on me?
Which pouch are you talking about?
Talking about my bag of holding.
You look over to Moat, and it seems like most of your items that you had on you are sitting next to him.
I am back.
Right.
I finished up what I was just doing.
Nice. Correct me if I'm wrong. Asher is looking to reach for her bag, and I said most of what they had on them, item-wise, is next to you.
Yeah. Back when he was sitting over here in this corner, I'm assuming he just had like their stuff piled up.
Okay.
And if they're looking for their stuff, I direct them over to here. All of their gear should be accounted for. Over in that direction.
Okay.
Yeah. If I see his eyes indicate that's where my things are, I come over there. Whoa.
Right.
Whoa.
No, I had to be on and off my headset.
Yeah.
While I'm rifling through my bags, I'm like, Moat comes with us, that's no doubt. But I don't know where Kier is really, or if we have a choice to like return to what we were up to before.
Yeah. So quickly,
when
Ricardo,
she's
what you missed
okay.
is he was just telling them like, get used to your new
God damn
bodies.
it.
People are gonna hate the way you look, but not specifically here, and that's why he chose this location. He still hopes his previous arrangement stands, to take you along with them. He offered them work if they need it, but before they can answer, he wants them to walk about town, get used to their new selves.
Okay.
Oh, and also told them that it's been roughly over 2 months since they died.
Okay. When she's like, I don't know where here is, I just start talking about the local area. I'm like, we're currently on the southeastern part of the continent in front. Most of the people here are not humans, so we should have an easier time maneuvering and getting yourselves used to these. I know this isn't what you guys are used to at all, or even wanted, and if that's the case, I apologize. I didn't know what else to do. I have taken care of all of your gear, and that's when he points that out over here. And I have use some of the funds that you guys had gathered to pay for everything. We currently have. He pulls out a pretty hefty sack and he places it on one of the barrels.
We had a
And-
lot of gold, so.
And he's like, "This is what is left. I'm not sure what you guys would like to have to be done with it. But
I like stop and I'm like, no, Mo, you're fine. You saved us. It doesn't matter how, just that we're living. Plus, look at Hoovel. He's a badass. He does a thing now. He hovers. I grab for a bottle of dark liquor. This is a special bottle. Me and Blanche got it on one of our escapades. With the escapades with the shroud when we were trying to strong arm some big boys in like a busted down old tavern or something of the sorts.
Okay.
I'd take a big drink of it.
Okay. You take a big drink of it, and before this hard liquor would make you wince. But as of now, with your invulnerability to disease,
and your construction or what is it called? Construct resilience.
it doesn't seem like you are getting any drunk.
Do I wince from the taste of this poorly crafted?
It still tastes awful. You
Okay.
can still taste. It just doesn't have the one good effect of it.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that's not any different. At least it tastes like shit still. Yeah, I'm like, that's new. Not feeling the familiar fire in my belly. Well, I guess we have no choice. Let's go walk around for a
Um,
bit.
One thing you might note is slightly different about Moat. Is his now he now has a we didn't actually talk about this, Kyle, but we did talk about the class change
Mm-hmm.
about my character. He now has a sigil. Don't really know how I don't know if it's just like a necklace or if it's like embedded onto his chest.
Mm-hmm.
But he has a religious sigil attached to him somehow.
When you were addressing Moat and the figure he saw in the corner, did I see that?
No, you were unconscious.
Alrighty. Do I
Uh,
recognize the sigil? Oh god, fuck, damn it.
You just keep slipping into holes down here.
When
I find them. I'm a whole seeker.
when you move down here, do a shift click. And just teleport around. But
I haven't had any issues doing this though.
yeah, or you can shift move.
Okay.
Dakota, do you want it to be an amulet of the one specific person, or just a general amulet?
As of right now, just a general amulet.
Okay. So Asher, you recognize it as, like a general religious amulet, but there's no god attached to it.
It's like I'm assuming does the Pantheon have just like
Yeah.
a Pantheon symbol?
I was just gonna say it's a symbol of like a sun and a moon surrounded by like flowers.
The symbol.
Yeah, and that's kind of like the symbol of the Pantheon.
Yeah.
So it's for people who generally either begin becoming religious and haven't found a god to worship, or people who are attempting to worship all of the gods together.
Oh, and this is just for viewer. we did some tweaking of my character's stats. So if you were paying attention to the last episode and then this one, some numbers might be slightly different if I roll or my AC and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We did some behind the scenes tweaking to make this narrative work.
And also, congratulations, because we all leveled up. So level 10.
I leveled up to level 11 because you guys died.
Nice.
Not true either.
Damn it.
Oh. I kind of eye motes peculiarly.
Mhm.
He didn't show much before, like emotion-wise. So it's strange to see he's now a man of faith.
Yeah, and it also strikes you as strange. Before, really, like, the few words that Moat has spoken have been, like, promotion or very necessity speaking.
Yeah.
He seems to be speaking more fluently. Or
Okay.
more naturally.
I kind of eye him up and down. A lot of
He kind of averts your gaze.
we've all
he's-
had some changes, huh? What time of day is it now?
You guys are below deck with no windows, so it's hard to say.
Only way is up.
Well,
start-
there's a lot of ways down in here.
Okay,
Uh,
I'll teleport you guys up.
Oh, thank you. I was dreading this.
Fucking stop moving.
What? No, I was climbing the stairs.
Oh.
I know how to maneuver.
I do not.
And then let me get this back to where I had it. Oh, that's really bright. Sorry, viewers.
Ah, my balls.
What?
Eyeballs.
What?
Eyeballs.
Okay.
As you climb the ladder to get to the top of the ship, your eyes take a bit to adjust as you have not seen sunlight for 2 months. And as they finally do adjust, you can see that you're on the Air E&E attached to the side of a cliff. You look out to your right and you see the vast ocean before you. Whereas before, you guys were in Bentento and it was a Great Lake, so it was very, very large. But this is a vast ocean.
A vast.
A vast.
It's one word. The ocean's name is Avast.
But as you continue looking around, you can see Hoist and Nav going about their business on top of the deck, doing preparations for the ship, repairing a few things here and there, not really paying attention to what you guys are doing.
Did anybody pick up the money?
I didn't.
Okay, then I would have picked it back up.
Okay.
I would have specifically looked for my bow.
Yeah, and you do
It was
get,
in the it was.
yeah,
Yeah.
you do get all of your personal items back.
Okay. Well, I start looking for a way off the ship.
Okay.
I kind of remember up here is like, whoop,
That's Paisley's in the
Man,
stairs.
Paisley.
Paisley, go slow. Move in small bursts.
I'm doing small but oh, jeez. I
I'll
just
teleport
clicked
Paisley. There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, and as you guys come off of the gangplank,
That's a League of Legends character.
is it?
Yep.
You guys walk over the cliff, and look down on a town that you guys have never seen before. It looks to have a small port with 2 boats.
Wow, this is a town I've never seen before.
Moat, you have seen this before.
Oh, okay. Wow, I've seen this town before.
But for the other 2, you look down on a very simple town. Not very many buildings, people moving about, going about their day on the docks. To your right, you see a small island just off the coast, with 1 large building on top of it, and a larger boat sitting out front of that.
As we round up on top of the hill up here,
Mm-hmm.
I do give them a little bit of information. I just let them know, this isn't like other towns, or more specifically, this isn't like Ventento, because I don't have much experience in other towns, so I can't really speak on those. But people here look out for themselves. You won't find guards around. Just don't let your guard down.
I mean, me and Hoovel definitely have experience in that. So, what was this town called again? I say as I make my way down.
Ferrant.
Yeah, it's Feront. Feront.
It's just a big old Ferrant for some nefarious business.
Stupid.
This whole town is a Ferrant.
I'm like stretching up over these hills, trying to get used to my new limbs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and similarly to Hoovel, as you like walk around, it's all the feelings of moving about are very slightly different, but as you start moving, you get used to it fairly quickly.
Those wings are so fucking cool.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
I also made your character as thin as possible.
Didn't eat much for when we were unconscious. This makes sense.
Yeah, and that's another thing to point out is, though you have not eaten for 2 months, you don't feel the need to. But as you pass the clearing and head down to the beach, you can see some people along the beach pulling up a rowboat. But these are people you've never seen before, as their bluish skin shines in the morning sun. Gill-like apparatuses protruding from their face. A large tail fin where their legs should be.
We sure I haven't met these guys before?
A lot
I have
a lot of aspects about them kind of seem similar to Blanche.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I was like, don't I have their slime somewhere in one of these pockets? But not like that.
Yeah, you have a Kuotoa slime, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes.
These are much more slender looking fish-like people.
These are people fish. Kuoto are fish people.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Duh.
It's like a reverse centaur, but the Kuoto are the reverse centaur. But yeah, you see 3 of them going about their business just on the shoreline. Looks like they're just going out, capturing fish, clams, anything that they could find along the sea floor.
I eye them, but I don't interrupt them.
Okay. And as you all pass, they do give you a glance, but go back to what they were doing.
I'm sure Moat has came across them multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
So he just gives them a little nod as they're walking past.
Yeah, and the main one up on shore that has a more vibrant blue skin is pulling up a net, nods in your direction as you do, and goes back to what he was doing as well.
Make my way back onto the grassy terrain up towards these buildings.
Okay.
What does these signs say?
The sign, one of them points into like this little alcove right here with stairs, says Ferrant, and then pointing this way, down the sandy path, two signs read Hafnar and Zoros.
As we approach this way, I do direct the party and I was like, follow me. There's someone that I'm sure would like to meet you. And I bring
Okay.
them into town and I'm like, we are now officially in Ferrant.
Yeah, and
Oh.
as you look to your left, you can see an older orcish man tending to a field of pumpkins. To your right, you kind of see like the dock area go down, and then in front of you, you see a fairly empty street. All of it, so far, the city doesn't seem to be bustling, which is somewhat what you guys are familiar to, being like from the capital, but it seems to be pretty slow going. As you guys pass by the docks, you see people here and there going about their own business. A couple of them give you like strange looks, but then continue on their business. They don't inquire anything. You get the sense that people don't really get into other people's business. But you continue on.
And I take them here.
Okay, and Moat leads you to a seemingly normal house in the center of town. Outside, there seems to be a forge going, and a very just simple door.
And I knock on the door.
Okay. And from inside, you hear a bit of clamoring. Just a moment, and a few seconds later, the door opens and you see a vibrantly purple tiefling with short, stocky horns and a longer than average tail for a tiefling. And as she opens the door, her eyes kind of go wide. She says, Moat, what can I do for you today?
Well, we have finally finished. And there's two people that I would like you to meet. And with that, I step back and gesture towards...
Yeah, and as you step back and she gets a view of Asher and Hoovel, her eyes kind of go wide, and if they could sparkle like the anime sparkle, they would. As she rushes forward and pretty like not roughly, but like starts like putting her hands on your face and like feeling down your arm, and just very much so in your personal space. And she like knocks on your elbow and it makes like a clinging sound. And she like nods, and then she like quickly goes over to Hoovel and starts admiring the wings. And
While I'm getting like patted down, I give her a wink. I'm like, yeah, new hardware. Still getting used to it myself, huh?
just got chromed up, June.
And she, as she's admiring, Hoovel answers you and says, Yes, I know. I was the one who procured most of these things, and it's wonderful seeing them in action.
I thought
and then,
maybe...
as she says this, she looks around and sees that the streets are empty and kind of sighs to herself and continues going back to admiring Hoovel.
I turn to Moat. I'm like, I thought Humphrey was.
He was the one who applied them all, but we had to get the materials and the necessary parts from Estrella here.
And
Not.
as you say that, she says, "Oh, of course, I have not even introduced myself. Estrella." And she holds out her hand to both of you, kind of like one hand on either side.
I take it and give a little bow as I shake too. Yeah. I'm Asher. Good to make your acquaintance.
Asher, and you, fine owl.
Who will like puff up his chest and like put out his wings a little bit and like nose to the sky. I am Hoovel.
Hoovel, excellent. It's just so nice seeing it come together.
Well, I guess neither of you guys came up with new names. Got it.
What?
Hey, Hoovel is now spelled Hoovel. You know, there's no W now.
I'm at sign SHER at sure. So that's new.
Little update on that. I was like, you guys might need to come up with new names because you guys did die before the session started. And then the very first person they meet, they're like, "I'm Asher. I'm Hoovel."
Look. We don't think that hard.
I am the one with intelligence as a dump stat.
We dump, but we're present.
I think you guys
Take what you get.
I don't know what Asher's is, but
Her dump stat is strength.
I know
Yeah.
it's not like her dump stat, but I don't think any of you have a really high intelligence.
I'm just like smartest guy. I know
Just
that for
both.
sure. I got a 14.
Okay.
That's all right. Very all right.
It's above average.
Yeah.
So and then
Asher's
she,
the smart one here.
Yeah.
Just let that sink in.
She turns back to you, Moat, and says, "And was there anything more that you were wanting from me, or just showing off the goods?"
As of right now, we're just trying to get them used to living again.
Well, yes, that would be.
I'm
a big change.
sure we will be back. Right now, I'm just showing them around town.
Yes, that's good. And she turns towards Asher and Hoofle and says, "And I don't know if Moat has told you, but if you do need anything from me, you can come and ask. If any items you want acquired that do not get through the normal means of shopping, you can come to me. Just don't go spreading the word about it."
Maybe apple exploder. That would be cool.
You
I don't know.
All I heard
Oh.
was maybe exploder.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know, maybe like an arm of apple exploder, but we'll keep you in mind for any stuff.
Terrific. And with that, I believe I've been outside too long, so I will bid you adieu. But do come back if you need anything.
And as she's going back inside, I just thank her again for all of her help.
Of course. With that, she closes the door.
With the door shut, I lean in on Moat. Anybody see the other form by any chance?
What was that?
I said, she see my real form by any chance, or just Humphrey?
She only heard of you,
Okay.
and I This might be something that I either don't know or I might be in misunderstanding, but I'm pretty sure she's the only one in town that actually knows about it.
Yeah.
Is that-
as far as you know.
As far as I know.
Yeah. She would be
Oh.
the only person that knows about this.
Okay. I like nod, thinking to myself that, geez, I hope this didn't get dangerous. I have family. I'm like, so Moat. Oh,
and
those
then,
are the only two.
As Asher's worrying about that, I just say, as far as the world knows, Asher and Hoovel are dead.
I solemnly nod. Yeah. Feel kind of dead. Definitely feel different. But perhaps a little bit more badass, so that's okay. I'm like, right, Hoovel? Just badass, right? No bad feelings there?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. Glad that's cleared up. All right.
Asher's
So
like trying to see if anyone else feels weird about this, and so far,
Hey,
no.
do you guys feel weird about this? Me either. Good.
I'm trying to like I don't know, rationalize some things internally.
It's like the worst case for anyone. Like, does anyone else feel the way I do? No, I'm the only person that feels this way. Awesome.
Forget about it then.
And
I
then
got cool wings and plan to do this like body mod stuff to myself anyways, so
Yeah. So Hoovel's like, damn, I'm halfway there. Like,
Moat continues leading you guys through town, and while it's been fairly empty, you guys hear a crowd ahead. And as you turn the corner, you see many people surrounding what looks like a small ring. And I'll move ahead.
Definitely some action around here. I try and get a better look.
Yeah, and you can see all sorts of different featured people. You see minotaurs and kobolds and gnolls and crocodile-like people and bugbears. You see Kuatoa. You see orcs and kenkus. And in the center of the ring, you see a furbolg, who the mini doesn't do justice. Looks to have ripped their shirt in half, and like very short shorts on that are somewhat baggy, look to be ripped as well. And a full like wrestler stance, kind of like circling the ring around what looks to be a full grown boar. The boar, snorting, rears its head back and charges in as the furbolg takes it in like a headlock, pulls it up, and then brings it down under his elbow. And as he does, everyone goes crazy as mud flies everywhere. It seems like you guys have walked in the middle of what seems to be a betting match.
Like,
As he does this, you see from up top, right here, a rat folk says, "Ooh, and that's one for the furbolg."
I'm like looking at the scene and then also kind of like side-eyeing the guy next to me. Is that a straight up minotaur? Like,
You see a minotaur, and also other. I mean, you've met a minotaur before. Circle.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Okay.
But other races that you really haven't seen around, there seems to be like insect-like people, standing around. No one seems to be paying them any mind. You see other bird people, similar to Hoovel, but not necessarily like them. And then in the back you see a serpent like person.
I feel like this is the town from like reincarnated as a slime. I'm, like getting suspicious as I look around.
Yeah, but as you do look around, you see no humans. You don't see any halflings here. Elves. You don't see any of the normal races that you would normally see in a town.
Or like people like.
Yeah.
Huh. We always wrestling animals over here, Moat? Is this our thing?
It is very common practice here,
Oh.
and I might have to leave again.
Oh no!
But as you
I was
guys
just-
are talking, you see as the headlocked boar gets up, squirming, and as the furbolg is on like his hands and knees trying to get up, the boar gets right under him in the ribs and flings him back onto the other side of the stage, where he like hits the side of the cage, and more mud goes flying, and the furbolg is now covered. You can't even see his skin. And he gets up and wipes the mud off like water, and gets back into his stance.
I like elbow the minotaur next to me. Where do you go to bed, friend? I say
Betting is
like
done at the beginning of the match.
okay. As I say friend, my voice wavers, noticing like the stature of this dude. I'm like, oh yeah, of course. We all know that. And then I go back to like hugging Moat's side.
Yeah, and as he looks down at you, it seems like people haven't really been paying attention as your arrival because they are focusing on the match. But as he looks at you, he kind of like does a double take.
Oh,
But
darn.
but doesn't mention anything further.
Yeah, it's like, what? You getting a look at me? Get a look at you! But I'm not actually gonna start a confrontation. Okay. Huh. And here I was just about to ask Mo what other sort of things there are to do in town. Gone.
Other things that Moat would probably mention to you would be that there is a general salesman in town that he visits to get like supplies for the ship. Yeah, I don't want to say anything more because I don't know what else he would tell you.
Any information that he knew about the town, he would share.
Okay. So yeah, as you guys are watching this match, he tells you about the general store clerk, and also just how the town runs. It again, like it's a kind of don't ask, don't tell kind of place. Don't get into people's business. People fend for themselves. It's like you're expected to be able to take care of any issues you have with other people yourself. If there are larger issues, the whole town gets involved and kind of gangs up on people. So arson, murder, breaking and entering, things like that. The whole town pretty much gangs up on the offender, and they are either run out of town or killed by the entire town. So it's don't ask, don't tell. No one really knows anything about anyone, but there is a community among them.
Okay, so kind of like brotherly sort of vibe, where it's like
everyone's in this
silently.
together.
Yeah. Huh.
Other than that, he does mention there is a pirate gang that somewhat runs the town, while there is no leader of the town. The captain of the pirates seems to have a lot of pull in the town and makes a lot of decisions that people seem to just follow.
Here you go, Kyle.
Oh, dope.
He's cool.
Yeah, that's much more like what it would be.
I like the opened shirt, but also like the cut off shorts.
Yeah.
No, it's one pant's leg is torn.
Okay, I see.
It's pretty good.
There you go.
So yeah, I believe that's everything that Moat would have known. Let me just check.
So the pirate gang kind of facilitates this sort of community. That seems suiting for a town where everybody's kind of watching their own back, anyways.
And then he does kind of like Moat goes over like the general store clerk is not just like a normal general store clerk where they just have like very basics. It's the general adventuring supplies. So they do have they don't specialize in anything, but they do have a lot of like weapons, armor, potions. So more things for higher level adventurers than just a general store would have. But other than that, that's what Moat has been doing. So you guys will have to just explore around if you want to learn more.
Okay. Yeah. The which way to this general store?
Moat points right behind you guys.
I'm like, come on, Hoovo, let's check out these guys. I'm like dragging him away from the fight.
And sitting in the window, you see a short but average for a goblin, kind of like kicked up his feet on the front counter. It looks to be kind of like a walk-up shop rather than a go in and browse.
Oh, smart. Probably a lot less thievery.
But kind of like kicked up on the table, seemingly watching the fight as he's working. But then notices you as you come up and somewhat readies himself for a sale.
I'm gonna run to the bathroom. This one's on you, Hoofle.
What?
Hoovel, what has Hoovel been thinking this entire time since your other two companions have now left?
Thinking how cool my wings are?
Yeah.
About it.
Yeah, and I'll just tell you as you're kind of like flexing on your muscles and stuff, your eye works the same, your bow works the same because that had nothing to do with you. You kind of like flex your arm, and like it seems like you can pull back the bow with much more ease, but it's a little bit difficult to get used to. So there's give and take to this, but so far it's seemingly like it's pretty cool.
Cool.
So I will say, since two people had to leave, we will take a 10-minute break, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. All right,
I
so...
completely forgot about the gone to poop screen.
Yeah. I think this is the first time we've used it.
Yeah, I don't think we might have used it like a long time ago,
Yeah.
but if so, it was only ever like once.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys just watched a little bit of a fight, and you go over to the shop with the goblin, putting his feet down and seemingly shifting focus from the fight to you guys as you approach. You guys just having a staring contest with him, or?
I'm like, Moat, this is the general store you were talking about?
Yes, it is.
I said, well, I am in the market for some medium armor.
They may have what you're looking for, or we may have to go back to Esprella. Espresso? Estrella. Got it. Nailed it.
Okay. Hey there.
Ah, hello! Welcome!
Well, thank you. I'm looking for some armor to get set up with.
Armor can do! Got your regular armor, and he motions over to like just a stack of armor. No armor stands, no nothing, just fully stacked up in a corner. Or I got your specialty armor. Motions over to another stack. It looks very similar. Just random assortment of armors. What are you in the market for?
Well, scale mail, if you have any.
Scale mail. Let me look up the price. Ah, yes, of course, a scale mail. And goes, starts going, and then turns around. How much money do you have?
Huh? I look at him warily.
Are you... Let me rephrase. Are you looking for specialty armor? Or regular stuff?
Hey, like, lean up on the counter. Like, it depends. What kind of, specialty armor are you offering?
Specialty armor. Here, we keep a stock of, +1 specialty armor.
+1?
Yeah, so...
Oh,
it would...
AC +1.
Yeah, it would be +1 to your AC.
How much does this go for?
Well, I'm willing to let scale mail go for... You can see he's doing calculations in his head, and he's failing. He's like, carry the one.
Goblin's doing math, you know.
1,000... the 235 gold.
What? It's a pretty steep price for some scale mail. What's your standard scale mail run for?
Oh, standard scale mail. That's 50 gold pieces.
Okay. I give him 50 gold.
Oh, okay, well, cheapskate. Goes over to the other stack of armor and pulls out some scale mail and kind of like holds it up to you and like closes one eye and then is like, yeah, and gives you the scale mail.
Wow.
The stale mail?
Scale mail! I'm like, well, thank you. And I take it from him and I start stuffing it into my bag of holding.
Okay. Anything else I can do for anyone else who would like to spend some money?
What about you, Hoovel? You looking for any upgrades?
No, not really. I got all my stuff.
Fair enough. I'm like, that will be all. Thank you.
And thank you for your patronage. Please come back and buy more next time.
What is it you usually get from that guy, Moat? You said you run by this person for the airship often.
Usually errands. Don't have much need for them myself.
Oh, I see. I pull the mail out and start fitting it to myself.
Okay. Yeah, and
Asking for a hand when necessary.
it takes a while, but let's see, it takes about 5 minutes to put on. But you eventually do get it on and kind of like underneath some clothing so that it's not just like, I'm wearing armor. It's like, yeah, you're wearing armor, but it's also fashionable.
Nice. Yeah. I kind of look down at myself. Something I've been thinking about. Maybe, I don't know, cushioning a bit, for lack of better words. So that way you don't have to go through something like that again, Moat. I, punch his arm, trying to make light of it.
Bing!
I shake my hand a little bit, like, alright, that's fine.
Your hand is also metal.
I still do it just for the... yeah. For the, familiarity of it. Yeah.
Okay. So, you guys have gotten around town a bit, at least to where Moat has. What are you guys doing next?
Yeah, I let them know, this is pretty much as far as the town I have explored so far. I only came into town for necessities, otherwise I was assisting in any way that I could with you two.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I do not know where our story goes from here.
Well, one thing I do know is I think I made my peace. I look over to Hoovel. I think we have an answer for Humphrey, huh? There's no going back now.
Indeed.
I start walking back towards the airship.
Maybe we could get assassination jobs from Humphrey.
Likely.
With
But
his competitors.
I mean, we could take an aggressive approach to what he was talking about. Oh, this is a dead end. Oh, wait, no, it's not.
You guys are
We
just
could
taking all
take
the
it
back alleys.
Like we know them.
Okay. So yeah, you guys make your way back to the airship. People going about their business throughout the rest of the town. You guys just
I got it.
flying about.
Those minis just...
But yeah, you guys come back and you find Humphrey up on top of his ship, ready to sell to any customers that would come by. Kind of leaned up and sees you as you approach and waves to you with a warm welcome. So, you've explored the town a bit, gotten used to your bodies a bit more, I assume.
Yeah, we have. We know.
Good, there's nothing wrong trying to move your hand and your foot is moving, nothing like that.
Oh, no. I start, moving them around just to, be extra sure. Yeah.
Terrific. I was very thorough, but just want to make sure.
Yeah. We could probably get used to this, but back home, they won't. So, I think we'll take you up on that. Our launch point here. about that job you had for us.
Yes. Well, if you are wanting to take jobs or just a singular job from me, that's fine. No matter what you want to do, my first task for your group will be to help me retrieve some fuel for my ship. As it stands right now, it will not move. I can sail it as a normal ship, but to fly it, I need magical crystals. While it is magic in nature, it does need recharged. Normally, I would go retrieve these crystals myself before I needed to, but I was a bit rushed to get here. So I do not think I would be able to make it to the destination. So, what I would like your group to do is go a bit northeast of here. There is a cave. Inside that cave, there are crystals. I will need the blue crystals from that cave. I have no use for the green crystals. The issue, and why I need your group to do it, is before I had a supply coming to town. Seems like they were run out by, and he kind of like realizes as he's saying it, by some monsters from a place. If it's too soon, I understand, but I will need that done before we fly this ship again.
I kind of look around to my party members.
Hoover will immediately like put out his wings and start flying northeast, like looking really happy.
We do have some new toys to test, I suppose. It will be done. And I start heading that way as well.
Terrific, and turn towards Moat and says, just keep looking after them. They're a good group.
And he nods.
Okay. You guys start heading off to the northeast of town. Getting there, you guys walk through town again, walk through the group of people again, going a little bit more, oh, I guess I have the compass wrong. Going a bit more east, you do see a little bit more of the town. You walk past the large, like, hill structure that seems to have a few inlays that people use for like housing or some sort of room. And atop it you see a small church. And then going past that, you see a small path. And Humphrey kind of marks, on your map about where you would go, and tells you it's about a day's travel outside of the city. But as you guys start heading that way, I believe we will call this a session. Is there anything you guys would like to do before we end it?
Well, this one was mostly just a this is what's happened session, so it's a little bit weird to end here, but I'm having a lot of issues with work right now, so I'm gonna have to be taking care of some stuff. So I just would like to apologize for us canceling or cutting it short.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shorter session, but it's a setup for what we will do from now on.
Exactly.
Short, but like I feel like a lot happened.
We got a lot. lot done.
There's a lot of
Uh,
changes happening here.
Yeah, but thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you bitches next time.
See ya,
Bye.
bitches, next
Bye.
time.
Adios.